Hello boys and girls, welcome to this week's video, and thanks for your patience. If you are following me on social media and subscribe to the channel, thanks for your patience in waiting a little bit longer for my content, for my videos especially. If you are following me on social media, you know I've injured my arm recently and been struggling to go out with my DSLR specifically, and that's kind of the reason why I'm doing this video, is basically to show you how I've kind of adapted to having an injured arm and still going out and taking pictures and kind of comparing two cameras that I've got and been using since my arm has been injured, and going from there really. So it's to connect to the business, I guess it's kind of an A/B test of two different cameras, two different ways of doing photography, I guess. Same with marketing or sales. You do have two adverts out and you kind of see which one works best for you and your business. So it's kind of, that's a bit of the link there as well, I guess, to the business side of things. So yeah, back to the content. I use my Canon EOS 5D Mark III normally to go out and shoot photographs, whatever it is, whether I'm doing a flower, stuff you see on my social media. I'm out with my EOS 5D Mark III, and it's a lovely camera. I enjoy using it, but it is quite a hefty camera, and with most things these days, controls are usually on the right hand side. Obviously most people being right handed, the controls are on the right hand side of the camera, and with having an injured arm, especially that first week or two, I was finding it hard to do much with my arm, and the thought of carrying around a heavy-ish camera and using my hand a lot to adjust the settings was just off-putting, so I didn't really want to go out with the Canon. So I needed to adapt. I still wanted to go out and take pictures. I enjoy the process, enjoy being out with a camera, regardless what it is. And what I ended up doing on a couple of occasions is buying some film and using my Ricoh 500G rangefinder. Really cool camera. Lot of things going for it. It's lightweight, it looks great. I mean, why wouldn't you like the look of this camera? It was released in 1972 and still works. I did need to put some light seals in it because they were a bit ruined from when I bought it second hand. But the fact that it's lightweight, so I could carry it in my arm, and the only settings were manual, adjusting the manual focus and then shutter speed and wind on, and that's it pretty much. As long as you're setting your aperture and your shutter speed and all that type of stuff and your ISO, that's all on lens. I could do it with my left hand, and easy peasy to use, and was a lot less stressful on my injured arm. So I went out with this. But there are some frustrations with this camera, even though it was much easier to use for my arm. There are some frustrations with it. This camera. It's not necessarily the same with all rangefinders, as far as I know. I haven't used every rangefinder obviously, but with this camera specifically, with the rangefinder, not exactly what you're going to get from your image. You basically look through this part of the window here, and obviously what you get is through the lens, so there's a good inch or two difference there, which could make a big difference in the composition of your image. So, and as a result of that, even though it's not much, I did miss quite a few shots as a result of that. So that was the main frustration I've had, is that I think I've taken a great image from what I see through the viewfinder, but when I get the photos back from the film developers, I'm missing part of the side, or the composition isn't quite right, so I missed a lot of shots using this. And another issue I think as well with this camera is the highlights seem blown quite a bit to me. I mean, things like skies and reflections and anything that's kind of bright in the scene seems really blown out to me. I'll show you a couple of comparison videos in another part of the video a bit later on, after I've talked about the second camera I've been using, which is just here, and I'll show you what I mean with that, because I've got two images that I took, one with this one and one with the other camera, that were I think you can see the difference between the two cameras and why this one is, even though I have got some great images with this camera, there are some drawbacks to it that frustrate me. So yeah, Ricoh 500G, it's helped me go out and take some images and got some great results, but there are some frustrations with it. Now going over to the second camera, it's this guy. This is the Minolta Dynax 7000i, part of the series where, I think the first in the series, the Dynax 7000 without the I. I think it's more famously known as the Maxim 7000 in the US. That's what it's called in the US. Dynax is the European name for it. It was the first SLR to have autofocus built into the camera, so it's very much a lot of, even though it's an SLR, there's still a lot of digital stuff involved in this. It has auto wind, auto rewind, and you have a little screen up the top here to adjust your settings. So there's a little bit of digital there, but still an SLR pre-digital era stuff. So the first camera in the series was kind of groundbreaking, where it was that autofocus, first autofocus in an SLR. So I picked this up as a basically due to the first frustrations I said I had with this, with issues with, I'm not very good with manual focus, so I had autofocus, issues with composition, and I don't have issues with composition with SLRs, a single lens reflection. So when I look through the viewfinder, I take the picture, in the picture is exactly what I took the picture of. So that's what I get back from the developers when I get the film back. And I think they were two main drawbacks, and when I got the pictures back I felt they were much better than generally than what I got with the Ricoh. And there's a lot of nostalgia with this. I mean I was brought up in the 80s, I was born in 78, so anything in the 80s that kind of reminds me of that period I love, and the sounds that this camera makes I just love. I had one or two cameras when I was a kid, like you do, you have for Christmas, and you remember the sounds, like the sound of the autofocus. And if it lets me take a picture, take the lens cap off so I'll focus on something. Did you hear that? I don't know if you did. Focus on something. That shutter sound is epic, absolutely epic. I love that shutter sound, that click. And what you're not getting, because obviously I haven't got film in it right now, because I would have taken them a couple of shots if I did, is the wind noise in when it automatically winds and rewinds the film inside, so I don't have to push a button or pull a lever to wind it on. It does it automatically, and that sound is one of my favourite sounds. It's between a shutter sound and then not when you got the film in it, it goes zzz. That wasn't the right noise, but that gave me so much joy in using this camera. The sounds were amazing in it. Not just the shutter sound, but that winding noise, absolutely brilliant. I had a smile on my face after every picture I took, and everything was in focus. It was the right composition, and I feel the pictures were of better quality, in my opinion, than the Ricoh 500G. Yeah, you could say, okay, one from 72, this one came out I think in something like 88, the late 80s, so you're going to maybe get an improvement in picture quality there for whatever reason. But yeah, that's kind of what happened over these last couple of weeks. I started using the 500G, went over to the Minolta, and absolutely loved it. If I'm going to have a drawback with the Minolta, just like I have with the Ricoh, because it's quite old, the hand grip has kind of started falling apart. I don't know if you can see there at all. There, it got a little bit falling apart on the top and the bottom, but that's not an issue. I can still use the camera, put some tape over it, or eventually replace it if it becomes too much of an issue. And another issue, it's completely center focused, so I can't focus on something in the image and then recompose with that. I I can't pick out something to focus on unless it's in the centre of the image. So if I focus on you now, I'll focus on the camera, but if I want the camera off to the right, when I press this down to take the picture, it will refocus on whatever's in the middle, just to the right or the left or whatever of the image. So I'll be focusing next to the camera rather than on the camera, and it will refocus on that, which is the issue I had in, especially when I was using the autofocus, was that. So that's the only kind of issue where if I wanted to focus on that and have the camera on the right hand side of the image, I couldn't do that in autofocus, where obviously the more modern stuff you can focus on something on the right and the left pretty much anywhere in the certain focus area, and you find, but I couldn't do it with this, where I can do that with the Ricoh, because I can focus on something, move the camera off to the right or left, and that item kind of stays in focus for me, as long as I don't go too far front or back, but go forward or back too much. That item I'm focusing on kind of stays in focus for me. So that was probably the main issue with this, but apart from that, lovely little camera, loved using it, and yeah, it's a great little camera, and both these cameras much lighter weight compared to my 5D Mark III, easier to use and really enjoyable cameras to use. Now, like I said, I wanted to show you an image. I'll put two images up right now. The one on the left is one from the Ricoh 500G, and the other one on the right is from the Minolta. Very similar images taken on separate days, maybe a day or two apart. But I want you to look at specifically the sky and the reflection in the canal, river, whatever this is. And you can see the highlights are real. There's a lot of them in the Ricoh on the left compared to the one on the right, and that's one of my main issues. You're losing a lot of detail with the Ricoh, and I feel that that's kind of ruined the image for me. Yet with the Minolta, there's a lot less of that, and a much nicer image overall, I think, compared to what I took with the Ricoh. So hopefully I remember to put them up on screen for you, and you can see the difference in at least one of the frustrations I've had with the Ricoh compared to the Minolta, where the highlights just a bit too much. It's too much there. So yeah, that's the kind of the main issue when I'm shooting. Obviously the composition was quite easy on this one, so it wasn't much of a problem, but I won't show you a composition problem, but I think you can kind of know what composition is and how I'm missing parts of the image from that. So yeah, that's kind of the main issue, guys. So I've kind of A/B tested these two different cameras, a Ricoh 500G from 1972 and a Minolta Dynax 7000i from about 1988 or so, and the Dynax has come out a clear winner due to the sounds, due to the autofocus, due to the composition, things there as well, and obviously that highlights issue I've just brought up. So yeah, Dynax, this one wins. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, I mean, obviously go off on the A/B test the stuff you do with your products and services you sell. You have is there parts of your service that maybe customers don't like, and then maybe you can release a different service, slightly different, without that part that people don't like in it, and see if it does make a difference. When you do your marketing and put the stuff out on social media or ads or whatever, online ads, are you doing two different ones to see which one works? Maybe there's a slight colour change, or using a different picture, or different font, or different font size, or whatever, and is that making any difference to your marketing, your sales, your online presence, I guess? Are people commenting and liking and sharing more as a result of your A/B testing? You finding which one works, marketing A, marketing B type stuff. So that's kind of the link I want to just check in at the far end. This was more comparing these two cameras. So yeah, do some A/B testing, guys. See what works for you guys. Don't just put stuff up like I've been doing. I don't know if you're doing much A/B testing myself, but just putting stuff up which needs to change. but I'll go into that in a different video about what content I'm putting up and how that needs to change. And yeah, I'll leave the video there, guys. So thanks for watching and putting up with my little bit of ranting, and I hope you enjoyed this little video, and I will see you next time. Cheers, have a great day, thanks for watching.